Hey y'all, I wanted to throw a quick video out to explain a couple of things to everybody. I was going to type this up in a post, but then as I'm sitting here and I'm writing and I'm kind of getting my thoughts out and all that other stuff, it got really long. The kind of long that ain't nobody going to read. I know how it works. Y'all might watch a quick 2-3 minute video, but you ain't going to read for 2-3 minutes. Not on something I post. Anyway, so most of you guys know I've been an avid video gamer for as long as I can remember. I think I was 6 or 7 when my dad first came home, or my dad came home the first time with an original Pong. I mean, this thing didn't even have controllers; it was all one big unit. Pops, you remember that? Okay, and I got hooked, and I've been hooked ever since. To the time of playing Space Invaders on the Atari 2600 on the little itty bitty black and white screen TV that used to be in my parents' bedroom. Um, Anyway, it progressed PC games, Xbox, PlayStation, all of it. You know the deal. Last year, just probably, I'm trying to think exactly when it was. Probably around September, October of 2017. Jack and I got started watching streams on Mixer. Mixer is Microsoft's answer to streaming service. They've only had it for, I think they bought it 2 years ago. They rolled it out about a year and a half ago. Um, and then back in February this year, Jack said, "Daddy, that's something you should do." And I'm sitting here, I'm like, who's gonna want to watch me play video games? I suck. Anyway, eventually he talked me into doing it, and I found a couple of things out about streaming that I wanted to share with you guys. First off, for starters, there's a whole lot more to streaming than clicking the go live button on Xbox and just playing video games a whole. There's this whole set of production quality stuff that you got to do in the background that I didn't realize was there. And of course, I'm absolutely digging this. I'm loving this stuff. I mean, come on, it's computers, it's graphics, it's production. I know it's kind of shocking that I'm into that kind of stuff. Anyway, and so I went through and hit the go live button the first time, probably in like March of last year, and that was directly from my Xbox. I didn't have anything set up, and the more I got watching additional streamers and becoming part of communities, I realized I got a lot of work to do. I'm having a lot of fun with this. This is something I want to do. I need to do more than just go straight from my Xbox and just play video games, because again, I'm not the world's greatest gamer, but I think I can be entertaining. At least I have a handful of people that have told me that. Anyway, we'll see. Who knows? But anyway, so since then I've gone through, I've done all kinds of the production side stuff. I've actually created a brand for myself. I've gone through and made my graphic overlays. I've done audio clips. I've created a stream starting soon animation for when I first get started. I started integrating social media. Which is probably why you don't see me doing a whole lot of posts on Facebook anymore, because I'm focusing on Twitter and Instagram and my Mixer Facebook page that I've gone through and created. So if you tag me and stuff and it goes a few days before I'm like, oh, hey, yeah, hi. I'm not being rude. I'm just not really focusing on it that much on my phone on Facebook. Anyway, but the second thing I learned, and this is a lot more important, streaming is not about video games. That's the primary content that brings people together. But at least over on Mixer, it's a lot more about building community. Since I started watching just a year and a half or so ago, whatever it is, I've become a part of a lot of great streamers communities. They're all based on diversity, acceptance, positivity. These are all things that we all want in our lives, and this is what I've been doing in my spare time a lot of the time. I've learned a lot about what it means to be a content creator. Going out and clicking that button and just sitting there playing video games in silence, well, that's a streamer. A content creator is getting interactive with their community. They're building entertainment. They're building something for people to enjoy and to go out and watch and hang out. And it's like I said, it's building a community. It's building something that we all like to have in our lives. Back in May, I really started wanting to become more and more active, and I started looking at what all I need to do to create a community. changed my Xbox gamer tag to match the brand I had finally decided on and come up with. I created a new Twitter, a new Instagram, a new Facebook accounts for my brand. Up until recently, I've only been really focused on Twitter, and that's part of the production side of things that I've got to focus a little bit better on. When I was going off and trying to think of a new brand for myself, my gamer tag for years has been Hawk6773. I got the nickname Hawk when I was in basic training from Sergeant Howard. Long story we won't go into right now. But the problem with that was the fact that there were 20 million people named Hawk something. And it's not all that professional to have a bunch of numbers, because a lot of younger kids that are newer to Xbox or whatever, they put Jimmy Bob 4231998, and it's not the most professional brand to have. And I was having a hard time finding it, so I took a step back and I got thinking about stuff in my life, stuff that's important. The theater has always been a part of who I am. It's not something I do. It's not something I just go to. It's in my blood. Thanks, Pop. Truly, thank you. And my hope, as I got thinking about what I wanted to do, was to create a community that had the same feel as what it means to be part of a good theater. Okay, a community, a space that is full of diversity, acceptance, inclusion, love. A place where it's okay if you have issues. It's okay to be quirky. It's okay. It's okay not to be normal in the theater, and nobody cares because they're all quirky and weird and not normal as well. And that's one of the things that I started doing. So as I'm going through and thinking about my branding, there were dozens of possibilities, and I couldn't really kind of think of a whole lot. So I went back to when I was younger, when theater was all that was going on in my life, back in the good old days. Well, at the same time, I was also obsessed with the Arthurian legend. I had read so many books on King Arthur and Knights of the Round Table and watched all the movies. And of course, my favorite musical was Camelot at the time. I know, don't judge. Anyway, so I started looking back and trying to figure out how I'm going to brand myself. And I was looking at, Arthur, King Arthur, Mordred, Merlin, you name it. I was trying to come up with something that would kind of match and tie with that. And of course, there were thousands of Arthurs and King Arthurs and Merlins. And, I even tried some of the more obscure characters like Pelennor, Dinadan, Lionel, Zana. Nope. All of that stuff was being used a lot. And I wanted something that was a little more. So I got thinking, it's like, well, what about the sword? What's the Arthurian legend without Excalibur? So I finally landed on a combination of something that was a little cryptic, but also had roots and tied back to the theater. And so I ended up coming up with Excal Gaming. Checked out to see if that was available. It was all, gamer tag was no problem. There was nothing out on Mixer. So I'm like, that's awesome. Jack's gotten into it so much that he's even changed his gamer tag to Little Excal. And he's one of my moderators, so he comes in, he helps with the stream, he helps control chat. Every now and then you get the kids that come in and think it's okay to throw racial slurs, start cussing at you and trolling you and all this other stuff. Well, my mods go through and they blink, boom, bye-bye. And Jack's one of those when he's up. I usually stream at night because family's always going to come first. So I wait until the kids are down, Amy's turning in for the night, and then I go and I hit that go live button for a couple of hours, and then I stream longer on the weekends. But I am very careful to try to keep all of my personal information out of stream. I've got new emails. I've got all of this other stuff set up. All the accounts are separated. There's really no way to tie Excal to me other than this video, which is probably why you're like, wait a minute, he is never posting. He has never posted anything. He's never liking anything. He's never answering things when we tag him. What is going on? Well, again, it's because on my phone, I'm focused on building my community, building my channel out there. In the comments below this video, I'm going to include my Mixer address, URL address. I invite all you guys to come out, follow me, hang out sometime. I know most of you are back east, Chicago, or further east than that. And I realized that time difference does make that a little challenging. So, yeah, okay, sorry. I had weird things flashing on my computer and I wanted to make sure I was still going. So, this is my setup behind me right now. I've actually got the green screen on, which is why my hands keep disappearing. So there's nothing weird and off going on there. Anyway, so I want you guys to come out and give me a follow. Even if you're not into watching video games, that's okay. Because part of what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start doing one of the great things about Mixer is it's not all video games. They have talk shows. They have live podcasts happening as you're going through. They have creative streams where I know at least 5 or 6 streamers that all they do is art on stream. I'm looking at doing some more creative type stuff. I'm looking at doing some talk show type stuff while I'm actually getting stuff set up. I'd love to figure out some way to get something that's relatively educational in there. I have a hard time working with After Effects Photoshop stuff because a lot of that I'm still kind of working on and relearning or learning for the first time as I go. So I don't want to look too derpy as I'm, trying to learn it and make it educational. Be educational for me, but boring for anybody in there. Anyway, I greatly appreciate it if you could follow the link, click on that button that says follow, come support something that I've become very passionate about over the last 6 months or so. Hope to see you there. In the meantime, I'll try to do a little bit better on keeping up with you guys. All right? Love y'all. Bye.